Hi everyone, and welcome! Today, we are tackling a common and often confusing error that Android developers sometimes encounter. Error style attribute androidattr/windowOptOutEdgeToEdgeEnforcement not found. If you've seen this message pop up in your Android Studio build, you're in the right place. We'll break down what this error means, why it happens, and most importantly, how to fix it quickly so you can get back to building amazing apps. Let's dive into what's going on here. This error message typically appears when your Android project is trying to compile, and it points to a missing style attribute. Specifically, windowOptOutEdgeToEdgeEnforcement is an attribute related to how your app handles the display area on modern Android devices. Newer Android versions, particularly Android 14, API level 34, and above, are pushing for apps to adopt an edge-to-edge design. This means your app's content should extend all the way under the system bars, like the status bar at the top and the navigation bar at the bottom. The windowOptOutEdgeToEdgeEnforcement attribute is a mechanism introduced to give developers more control or options regarding this new edge-to-edge behavior. So, when your project says it's not found, it usually means your build environment isn't aware of this specific attribute. Now, why does this error happen? The most common reason is a mismatch in your project's SDK versions. Your project might be set to compile against an older Android API level, while some of your project's dependencies or libraries are expecting a newer API level where this attribute is defined. For example, if a library you're using has been updated to support Android 14's edge-to-edge features, but your app's compileSdk is still set to, say, API level 33 or lower, Android Studio won't recognize windowOptOutEdgeToEdgeEnforcement because it simply didn't exist in those older SDK versions. It's like trying to use a brand new feature with an old instruction manual. Thankfully, fixing this error is usually quite straightforward. Here's how you can resolve it. 1. Update your SDK versions. This is the primary solution. Open your app-level build.gradle file. You will find compileSdk and targetSdk settings there. You need to set both compileSdk and targetSdk to API level 34 or higher. For instance, change compileSdk equals 33 to compileSdk equals 34 and targetSdk equals 33 to targetSdk equals 34. Make sure both are updated to at least API level 34. This tells your project to compile against the newer Android SDK where the windowOptOutEdgeToEdgeEnforcement attribute is properly defined and recognized. 2. Sync your project with Gradle files. After making changes to your build.gradle file, Android Studio will usually prompt you to sync now. It's crucial to click this or manually sync your project. This ensures that Gradle reevaluates your project configuration with the new SDK versions. 3. Clean and rebuild your project. Sometimes, lingering build artifacts can cause issues. Go to Build in the Android Studio menu, then select Clean Project, and after it finishes, select Rebuild Project. This forces a fresh build using your updated settings. 4. Update Android Studio and SDK tools. While less common, ensure your Android Studio is up to date. Sometimes, outdated IDE versions or SDK build tools can lead to unexpected errors. Go to Help-Check for updates to make sure you're running the latest version. Also, in the SDK Manager, ensure you have Android SDK Platform 34, or the latest available, installed. By following these steps, you should successfully resolve the error style attribute androidattr/windowOptOutEdgeEnforcement not found error. It's a clear sign that your project needs to catch up with the latest Android API changes, especially regarding UI and display behavior. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you fix your error, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more Android development tips and tutorials. See you in the next one.